This video is about map envy, I guess you could say. I'm a long-time Locus Map Pro user. I think it's the most advanced program there is. But usually once a year I'll look at the other systems and what they offer and how they're progressing. And I look at Gaia, and the maps are incredible on Gaia, really great. And I wish Locus had better maps, or maps as good as that. One of the things that we like to use when we spend time in Colorado is MVUM mapping data, motor vehicle use map. And Locus does not have that. Well, it actually does have some of it kind of hidden in, and I'll show that in this video. But it's not very legible. So this video is to show how to get MVUM into Locus, the different methods that I've found. Maybe you have one that's better. And also a quick comparison at the beginning with a product called Cotrex. Okay, Gaia versus Cotrex. Cotrex is only for Colorado. It's a great program. And what I like about it is it has separate activities. I'm pretty much comparing motorcycle riding to ATV riding. Okay, now we're in Locus looking at that same area. The green you see is a track that I've actually ridden that's being displayed. If you turn that track off, you'll see there's no data here. We're looking for the MVUM trail data that kind of runs along here. This is the OpenAndro map, Colorado map, using the adventure theme. It does not show any MVUM here. And none of the themes that I've found will display that. The low maps of Colorado does not display it either. The only thing I could find on Locus now that does show that is it's the USGS topo. And as you can see, this is the line. This is the data that we're looking for, and there's more over here. So I believe, since this is an online map, Locus is paying or subscribing somehow to get this from the USGS servers. It would just be great if they could display it in a better way. One way to get the MVUM data into Locus is this method. Find a source for your data, and the URL for this will be in the description. And let's see, these are GEOPDF, so PDFs embedded with the latitude, longitudinal information. So this is the area that I'm interested in. I took this whole file, and it has so many different layers, and everything seemed to come in as like these data points for everything. And it was huge and didn't work well, caused Locus to crash. So what I did is I took this GeoPDF and I converted it to a JPEG. So I lost that geolocation data, but I was able to make it just a small size in this area of what I want. And then I used the Locus calibration tool to line that up. You have to manually do it. It's not hard. It takes a couple minutes. And bring it in that way, and then Locus creates a KML inside, and then you can activate the KML. So let's see, we should have the KML here. So we turn it on, and the nice thing about this, well, here you can see it's a raster based image, but what you can do is you can go in and adjust the transparency, which kind of works well for me. So now I can see the lines. Let's bring it up a little bit more. So you can adjust the transparency, and now it's overlaid over the OpenAndro Colorado map. So this is all completely offline. You don't need any cell service to display this, and it's showing you all the data that you're looking for. So that is one method. This is another method from a different source. I'll also put that in the description. Here's the area that we want. Now, I tried exporting this, just exporting it, and it took the entire state, and it was about 260 megs, and Locus craps out apparently after 50 megs. Anyway, so what I did was you use this tool here and you draw a shape around this, and then you go to export. This is using ArcGIS, and I don't think you need to log in, but if you do, you can create your own free ArcGIS account, ARCGIS. And then you go to download, and you can download in all these different formats. KML and GeoJSON worked for me. Anyway, so you go ahead and you export that, and then you put that into the folder, which is where, when you calibrated that map, the other method, it creates a KML internally in the map items folder. So when you do this method number 2, you place that downloaded file into the map items folder, and then you need to go to map items, and this was the one we just looked at before. That's that raster based thing from the map calibration process. And this is one that I brought in, a KML, which is what I just showed you from that site. So you see it says it's track based now. So now you go and you can see, I'm not sure if I like this or not, but it works for what I want it for. So basically it brought in 6 separate tracks. Method 3 for doing this is using this program QGIS, which is the way Locus suggests doing it. It's a very sophisticated program, and you use a plugin. I think they suggested MBTiles. I believe I got this to work once a couple years ago, but it was much more complex than it needs to be. This program can likely do everything, but I found a much easier method, and that's using this program called MBTiles, and I'll put the link in the description. You take the PDF that you downloaded from that original link, USGS site, you throw it in here, and we're going to export it, and we're going to choose MBTiles. And if you go to try to change the zoom levels, it wants to charge you a subscription. So I just left it at the free version, and we go ahead and render. And I'm not going to render it again because I already did it. It took about a minute. And what you end up with is this file, which is a .mbtiles file. So now we're going to go into Locus. Here's the Colorado OAM map. Doesn't show any of that information. Now we're going to go to Map Overlays. And what's in there now, this is called the BLM layer, the PADIS layer. And this is great if you're riding in remote areas to see where you can camp and where is public land. We're going to choose the map that we created, and there it is. So we choose that now. Here's the overlay, and it's wonderful. It's exactly what you want. It's actually visually, in my opinion, easier to see and read in this particular setup with this OAM map than on Gaia as far as seeing the trails. And you do have the capability to change the transparency. And then one more thing, I notice if you turn off map shading, it's the best way to see the actual trails. So in summary, with a little planning, you can get the MVUM layer into Locus, and it's very legible. If this video was helpful to you, please like and subscribe. Thanks.